Welcome back to episode 16 of Behind Track Limits. We are going to do an unpopular F1 opinions. So this could get very messy or it could actually be okay. Me, bitch. So I sent some to the group chat and some of them, I was thinking we're going to do an unpopular opinion. This could end up very we could hate each other by the end of this. Because our opinions can be very, very different.
Split about Red Bull Mercedes as well.
Well,
I feel like an even split.
Yeah, we have. In the podcast, we've very got much like a Hamilton and Max side, haven't we?
Yeah, we still do not hate each other, so...
No, we actually all do.
We should be fine.
So, one of them was... F1 cars look better with the halo than without. I actually really do like the F1 cars with the halos. I think they look weird now when I see a car without one.
Yeah. At the beginning, it was a bit...
Kicking off, but I quite like it. I do actually quite like it.
They look quite slick now.
Yeah, they do just look very nice and sleek, very clean.
They're more aerodynamic. I can't describe it.
Mm.
Looking missing. Looks like something.
Some old cars look like really cool and you can't imagine a halo on it, but then now it's here, it's like,
it's just not normal now.
New gen cars with it.
It would look weird if it wouldn't be there, so
it definitely would look weird now.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. I don't think Perez is doing a whole lot better than Albon did. He started strong, but his consistency has been shocking. Qualifying not great either. Max is again fighting for the Constructors' Championship on his own. Now, I feel like at the start of the season, yes, but I feel like he got podium. Was it last race he got podium?
Yeah. I was just saying, let's talk about last week and then talk about that tweet again. So
I think we need to perfect that car is for Max. So
see, it is very much a car made.
That car is so suited to Max that I think you've got to give him a bit of leniency towards Perez.
Yeah, the only thing is as well, I feel like Perez is not a qualifier. He's very much a Sunday man. It'd be better if he could qualify better because then he'd be able to get up there in the races, but he's not a qualifier at all. He's very much a racer, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we're going to call him Mr. Sunday? Then?
Yeah, we're going to call him Mr. Sunday and George Mr. Saturday.
Management.
Next year, will George be Mr. All Weekend?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. But, do you think he would actually do better than Lewis or not?
No.
I don't know.
No, Mercedes do the same thing as what Red Bull do to Max.
Yeah.
I think Lewis will always be obviously the favourite.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
but they can't do with George what they did with Bottas. They can't do this because George is the future.
Yeah. I'm quite excited to see their personalities together because George is meant to be quite demanding and stuff, as well as Lewis. So I'm quite excited to see if they actually get on as teammates or if they don't.
Yeah.
I feel like
George is not second driver. Obviously, Williams. They've kind of obviously at Williams at times they favoured George at times and they favoured Nicky at times. But I think he knows he's going into kind of a second seat position, but I think he's not ready to say that because then once he does accept that, I think then Mercedes will start to kind of use that against him. And obviously, Mercedes need him to act as kind of a bit of a second driver. And I don't blame them for it because at the end of the day, Lewis is Lewis, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Okay, we have another one. If Antonio doesn't get a place in Alfa Romeo, which obviously doesn't seem like he is, I don't want Guan Yu Zhou in F1 because of big sponsors. Oscar Piastri deserves it more.
I've been saying this. I said Oscar Piastri deserves it more, but he hasn't got as much experience as what Monaco has.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's
Oscar.
So Oscar's having a really good rookie season, isn't he? He is flying, but the only thing is, do we want to do what we did with Yuki? Is move Oscar up with just a year in F2 and he not have the best F1 season? Or do you keep Oscar in F2? Because I just don't want him to move him along too fast, like what they've done with Yuki. Because I feel like obviously Yuki's got another year, but I just don't think he's.
I'd rather them keep Oscar back and give him, say, the Alpine seat in 2023 for when Alonso, well, obviously thinking that he was going to retire 2023, hoping that he'd then get that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think moving him up too fast could backfire.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what happens to too many of these young drivers. They get moved up too fast with obviously I know Yuki's got another a seat next year, but I just don't think he'll have it for long. Do you know what I mean? No. So I just think he's sort of a filler at the moment. Because he just didn't have the experience in F2. He only had a year.
He was shocked that he got a new contract as well.
Was it?
That said a lot.
It knocks your confidence by being brought up too early. So.
And the only thing is with racing, it's such a mental game as well. It's not all physical. It's such a mental thing. And if you've got not much confidence, then you're not really going to perform, are you? So.
But then again, can we compare the Alfa Romeo seat to the Red Bull seat? Well, Alfa Tauri seat.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, there's more pressure at Red Bull and Alfa Tauri.
Yeah. Then is it Alfa Romeo? Yeah, definitely. So
Alfa kind of you can get away with about
not
18.
Yeah, not really perform. You can sort of literally get away with it a little bit.
I mean, if you're anything above P16 in an Alfa Romeo,
you do good.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is.
That's what I like.
Red Bull are going to be a midfield team next year, which is why this is one of their last chances to win the title. With Red Bull putting in so much effort this year to win, I think they may have sidelined next year's car.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
no.
I don't see them dropping off. I don't agree with that one.
Can you imagine them being, we'll win this year. Don't care about next year.
I didn't see that happening.
I think people think that because they're going for it this year that they've just not thought about the future, that they're being stupid. But think about it. It's a Formula One team at the moment, the second best Formula One team of 10 on the grid. They're not just going to drop off.
Literally, they're not just going to
have a major problem like what, say, Ferrari had, where rules are changed and regulations are put in place to affect them and how their car operates. They're not just going to drop off.
I know, I don't agree with that one at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, behind closed doors.
It's a bit like saying.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like
Red Bull are quite the team.
Imagine if now they're on a real midfield team, kind of Alpine level. Watch that happen now. Watch that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Red Bull getting out qualified by a Haas?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. It was
Red Bull will be the new Haas.
That's like saying Haas next year are going to be top of the season because they had a shit year this week. This season's going to be shit for them. So that's like them saying Haas is going to be number one next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you imagine? I couldn't
doesn't look too good.
Seeing Max in the middle.
No, I can't. I don't think he wouldn't carry on. I don't think. I think if he didn't fight for wins, he wouldn't carry on.
He'd be like, I'm off. I'm going to Haas next year because they're winning.
Can you imagine Günther Steiner and Max Verstappen together?
I quite like that. I'd like.
No, I agree with Gracie though.
The drive to survive drama.
Drive to Survive would be a hella good series if so.
Yeah.
But they twist it and make up some random things.
Yeah. So there's one saying, after Hamilton retires, people realise how good he was and start to adore him, just like they did with Schumacher.
And Seb.
Yeah, and I think that could happen because I feel like people are so like judgmental. I feel like once they are like that driver is gone and they realise maybe, okay, these other drivers aren't on the same level as Lewis was, I think people will start adoring him more.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know about adoring, but they will 100% recognize his success and his talent more than they do now.
Yeah.
Just some people, like, they forget about what he's done in Formula One. They look at like the politics and stuff that like, he's trying to fight for, and people just don't agree with it, which is stupid, really.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like what
definitely. I agree.
and stuff, but
Yeah. So I'm not being funny, but his achievements in F1 is like better than anyone else. And it's like you can't take that away from him. Like it's like literal facts. It's like wrote down that he has got so many wins, got so many championships. It's like sometimes it is actually crazy to look at sometimes because it's like, oh, Lewis Hamilton's broken another record. Like it just goes on and on and on and on.
You kind of just get used to Lewis Hamilton breaking records now.
Yeah, you do a bit, don't you?
Yeah. But it's like if George starts being like Lewis and like starting breaking records and stuff, is George gonna get a load of hate?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get hate just for being in the Mercedes seat, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that. I see that happening.
He's gonna get haters because he's gonna start beating people that people don't want to. You get a lot of people that don't actually hate Lewis and more just favour other drivers, such as Max. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's more people won't hate George, but obviously they'll favour other people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we have Monaco Grand Prix is outdated and not fit for modern F1 and should be removed from the calendar completely. It was good years ago when the cars were slower, but has no place in the sport now.
Monaco's more...
I think it's more of a fun one.
Yeah, I think it's just more of a historic race more than anything, isn't it?
And like qualifying.
We know it's not there.
Quali's so good.
Yeah, quali's good, but the racing is a bit iffy on it.
Yeah, I mean,
just
if
gotta
you
replace
ask
it with
somebody
quali.
about what do you associate with F1, it's like Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco.
Exactly.
And as well, like you say the word Monaco, and everyone will be like, "Oh, I know that because of Formula One." That's the only.
Yeah, I had no clue it existed. I only got into Formula One and then I knew it existed, to be honest. So
a lot of people did, yeah. I feel like you went, or if you a genius at geography when you were younger, you wouldn't have known.
literally.
Yeah. I think it's more everything around it more than the race itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if there was a calendar without Monaco on. Can you imagine the day that happens? Think of the money that Monaco brings. Think of the money Monaco brings.
Yeah.
So are they realistically going to take the blow?
Yeah.
Where else are they?
Yeah, and it brings so much publicity to F1 as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Charles still needs to win this race before it can get off.
He needs to. Bloody hell! We need to do something with that bloody race. Painful.
Oh, I forgot about the.
Just finishing it would be. Finishing it, it'd be lovely. I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sprint races in F1 are actually good. I agree. I like the sprint races. I like the format.
I think they happen. I think they're too long though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean by they're too long.
You know what I mean? Like they should, when they say sprint race, literally be like obviously depending on the track, around a 5 lap kind of.
Yeah,
let the
imagine a sprint race being like the last 2 laps in Baku.
Yeah.
That would be good, but not 17 laps around Silverstone.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I'm
I
not a
just feel
huge
like-
fan
Are you
of
not?
it.
See, I don't mind it. I think it gives a little bit extra like spice to the weekend, say. Like, but say if you crash in that sprint race, then your like actual race is pretty much done, isn't it? So it has its good and bad side. It just depends where you are. If say you do finish good, you finish better in the sprint race, yeah, you'll love it. But then if you crash, then you're sort of done for, aren't you, really?
Mm.
Yeah, and nobody's going to take any risks in the sprint race
Yeah, exactly.
because they don't want to crash, and that makes it kind of boring after a few laps.
Yeah.
Like teams about strategy in the sprint race on when to push and when not to push. And like it should be a race where you shouldn't need strategy. You shouldn't need to worry about tyres. You should be able to just put some softs on, like a 5-lap kind of hope for the best and go for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, like kind of have a second car just for the sprint race. If you crash it, you crash it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
If this should all go on like bikes or something. Go-karts, the sprint race.
Could you imagine that? Seeing all like one lot do a kart race. That would be so funny.
Raw
Love
talent.
that.
Oh god.
Can you imagine?
I want to see that now. I think we should do a petition for like F1 drivers to do a kart race, like every single one of them.
Mm.
I wonder who would win.
That'd be. I was gonna say that would be interesting to see who would actually win. Like who still has that kart technique from when they were younger.
Yeah,
Because
I can't imagine
who does it.
Yeah, I can't imagine Bottas or like Kimi going karting.
Imagine who.
But then like Lando goes. Daniel Ricciardo went a few weeks ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd favour some people.
Because
Definitely.
it hurts. Like
Yeah.
you've got to have some good strength.
Literally.
Mm.
Okay, the next one is I generally think that the last race was Bottas's last win in F1.
That's what I was thinking. I think that when he won then, because I doubt he's going to win an Alpha. So
Yeah.
that's his last win. Unless he just pulls it together this season.
You
gets
could
late.
see his eyes. You could. I think when he was celebrating it, he kind of treasured it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing as well.
It is sad to think about, isn't it?
It's sad. I don't know. Something else could happen to Lewis and Max, and Bottas just takes it away, or
Yeah, they just like crash. Like
but
take
that's
each other
the
out each
only
round.
possibility.
yeah,
Because
I know.
if they don't crash,
Yeah.
then it's team's orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But like if as the title gets closer, they'll probably be fighting more, which gives it a higher chance of them colliding. And Bottas just wins his race.
Yeah.
It makes me
But
I'm nervous for the next
who knows
races.
what will happen?
Shit.
Who do you want to win a race this year?
Mhm.
Charles.
Like who? Of course.
sad.
Why do I even ask?
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, I
Kimmy.
would love
Kimmy.
a one.
Kimmy.
Oh, Kimmy.
Give me one
Yeah,
before we go.
gotta be a little
Before he
bit
leaves.
Realistically, who do you want to win a race this year? Realistically.
Lando.
Yeah.
Lando.
He needs it. He does.
I still think Charles, yeah. I don't think it's completely out of question, say, if something like Monza 2.0 happens.
I know. I just don't think there's any very strong Ferrari tracks that are coming up at the moment.
I don't think there is any strong Ferrari tracks. Like,
Oh.
I
would
think
like to
next-
see Lando as
It'll
well,
come. It'll come.
hopefully.
It'll come.
all 2023. The next 2 years, we're going to see the rise of Ferrari again. The rise 2.0,
I
3.0.
hate it. I'm too stressed. I get too stressed watching races. The last race, I was like nearly throwing a tantrum because he could have got a podium, but he didn't get a podium. And I was like, I can't cope.
I'm still not over this radio message.
That was the best radio message ever. It was so stupid.
In front of Bottas, and then you'll win.
I'd be like, oh, really? No, I didn't realise that.
If we finish in front of Bottas, we will be P1. Really?
Wow.
Yeah, really? No way.
Nice one.
I'm trying to find some more. I found out. Oh, here's one. So, unpopular opinion against Gasly. Gasly's penalty was unfair given to him. He was sandwiched by both Perez and Alonso and unfortunately punted the Alpine. Racing incident, bad luck for Fernando. So,
It was the first one.
This is what I mean.
I don't think it was fair.
No. Where could you have gone? When you're in a sandwich, you've got two cars. You're not exactly going to steer into one, are you?
You can't
wasn't
back. Otherwise, obviously, look what's going to happen. If you hold back, then you're just going to get run into the back of. Obviously, you can't go any quicker. Otherwise, you would have. Can't.
Can't do even Alonso said afterwards that it was a racing incident.
And wasn't that the same penalty that Bottas got when he took out half the grid?
Yeah.
Or was that just me?
Yeah.
And he even got 2 penalty points for this.
I know.
At first, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it might have been Gasly's fault. But then I didn't see Perez like on the other side until they showed like more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? But yeah.
It was a bit unfair.
It would have finished before Hamilton, in front of Hamilton. I mean, Red Bull really just want to create another Max, and that's not happening, so.
No.
I love that.
I like this one. Unpopular opinion, climate change is good because it means more wet races. Which we have got a lot more wet races this year, so maybe.
We have loads.
I'm scared now. Wet races, I'm scared of them. I hate
Turkey.
Yeah, I liked them and now I'm not. I'm afraid.
We had all the elements to be a really good race.
Races, and now we got them, and they're not good.
Yeah.
I feel like Turkey should have been a way better race than what it was.
Yeah, it was sort of just like a drying track race, weren't it? But then it started spitting, so it was just a bit damp, so it was a bit weird conditions.
It had the elements to be a good race, and then it just wasn't.
Yeah, and then strategies got all messed up, and then I don't even know what else.
The most exciting bit was Charles might win this.
Yeah.
Charles might win this, and then he didn't.
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were just waiting for it to get dry.
Mm.
When did we ever wait for a track to get dry?
Literally, normally you're like, oh yeah, let's keep it wet, and now everyone was like, when is it going to dry? We need it to dry out. I think that Vettel and Kimi was the strongest duo of the last decade behind Lewis and Rosberg. Which I agree. They were quite a strong duo in Ferrari, weren't they, them two together?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
So
Yeah.
I think it's just well together. They had that obviously experience, talent, and they kind of could work together. They could give feedback that was useful, and they kind of knew each other's kind of driving style. Obviously, they've raced together for a long time, and I think they just knew they're good enough friends and they respect each other enough not to for anything like Hamilton and Rosberg to have happened.
Yeah.
There's one that said Ocon could be better than Bottas.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
No.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think so.
Ocon's good. I think he's underrated, but
I think
Yeah.
but this is Bottas, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he has to show some consistency because one day he's like in Q3 and fighting for like P7 or P6, and the other week he's like out in Q1 and then having P17.
Yeah.
Like, he's matching Alonso's level and Alonso had 2 years out of F1. Obviously, we know that Ocon had a year out of F1, but I think he can do better. I think he just needs to settle down properly.
Yeah.
Obviously, rebrand of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, everybody's pretty much the same in the team, so I don't think there's that many excuses for him, but I think he's just having a bit of that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think would never win a world championship?
Ooh. What, that's on the grid?
Yeah, that's on the grid now.
Carlos.
Carlos.
I don't see him winning one. I'd love him to, but I just don't see him winning one.
Yeah.
It really hurts me to say this, and I really do not want to say this, but I think Danny Rick.
I knew that was
Oh, yeah.
coming out. Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Perez.
I can't
Yeah.
see him winning a championship. I see him winning races, of course, but
Yeah.
not a championship.
Yeah.
And it hurts me to say this.
I know.
I do get that.
Yeah, Perez not gonna.
Yeah, I don't see Perez winning one.
No.
No.
I don't see Pierre winning one.
I was just
Oh,
about to say that. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he still has the problem with where's he gonna go?
Yeah.
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 I think they just got
Right.
save him. I think when Perez is gone, I think Perez will be gone end of next year. I think then they'll put him. Then I think they'll offer him the Rebel seat. It's whether he takes it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he wants it back.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take it because he wants to show them that he can do it.
Yeah.
I think but obviously there was that controversy on whether he'll go to Alpine, but I don't think he will with Guan Yu Zhou and Oscar Piastri looking hot for that seat.
Mm.
This one says, if anything, a shorter F1 calendar will make it more intense than a longer one.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's shorter, then obviously it's like a lot more work and everything than, say, a longer one. Because I think it'd be easier. Well, not easier, but it'd be easier for fans to watch because the championship would be a lot closer than, say, having a long one where there's so many races that like someone could run away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though it's good this season to have a long season because there's that constant. Right now, nobody could tell you who's gonna win. Like we've got 6 left, and there's like 6 points in between Max and Lewis.
Mm.
Nobody can predict who's gonna win. Nobody can.
Mm.
I mean, obviously, it's gonna be Max or Lewis. Well, not mathematically, but it's whether which one of them wins.
Yeah.
I feel like a season like last season though, that would have been better being a shorter season. Lewis was gonna win anyway, so we weren't really expecting much.
No, yeah.
Yeah, well, who do you think is going to win this year?
Why did you have to ask that question? We could end up fighting.
I really don't know. I want Max to win. I want Max to win, but then I also think I'd love to see Lewis. I'm really controversial because I'd love to see Lewis win it, and I'd be so happy for him. But then I don't want him to break Schumacher's record, and Max is my favourite driver on the grid. So I'm so open. Obviously, I'd prefer Max to win, but I wouldn't be upset if Lewis did win.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I don't want him to break Schumacher's record, and I want Max to win. And I think he can do it.
Respect for Lewis to not be angry if he wins. If he wins it, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he deserves it. So.
I don't.
Both of them deserve it.
I'm gonna say Lewis.
How did I know that was going to come from Gracie?
Wow.
That would have been a huge.
Yeah, I would have been. Gracie, okay?
Oh.
I don't know. I honestly have no clue who I'd want. Like, if I wanted someone to win,
It would be Charles.
well, definitely, yeah. But I don't know, because like obviously Lewis is like Lewis, isn't he? He's like an F1 great. But then like it's Max could get his actual first championship, and I think it'd be nice to see someone new have a championship.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit undecided. I just need to see how it goes, like when it's nearer to the time.
And see if you're happy or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it happens, I'll let you know my moods. But I'm not sure currently how it could pan out. Like, I literally have no clue who could win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one. Kimi Raikkonen is more of an F1 legend than Fernando Alonso.
I don't know.
I don't know who that one.
One more championship they've been in for the same period of time, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I'd prefer Kimi to Fernando.
Yeah.
I feel like Kimi's a character, and like you can't not like Kimi.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends. I'm not really sure on that one.
Yeah. I'm a bit. It's like you've got a lot of people now trying to compare Prime Seb and Prime Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, which one? Prime Lewis has done that.
Yeah. And Seb.
Yeah.
Oh, who doesn't love Seb though? That's the thing.
Exactly. This says, I hate the whole idea / concept of DRS. It just feels so artificial to me to just enable one of the cars to turn the drag off to pass the opponent. I actually enjoyed watching drivers struggle at Yas Marina when the system refused to work.
It'd be cooler if DRS was like I don't mind DRS for obviously lapping people.
Yeah.
Because easier, but for DRS in close battles, it's good to kind of see the drag race and drivers using the slipstream and stuff like that. I'd rather them do it with skill and talent, because with DRS, you're always kind of looking for whether they're within 1 second. Once they're within 1 second, then you're not really that bothered about the overtake because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
it sort of just takes away almost, doesn't it, a little bit from like overtaking. Instead of seeing like just pure amazing overtake, you sort of know, like you said, if they're in with 1 second and DRS is on, they're gonna probably get it.
Yeah.
So I do.
It'd be better. It sounds stupid, but it'd be better if DRS was like if you're in between 2 seconds to 1 second, and then leave that 1 second to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't describe. Like, so they pull back to want DRS, but then have to push to overtake.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so how we're on about DRS. In Formula E how they have attack mode, I'd almost like for DRS to be something like that. So you can only get it a certain amount of times in a race. You've got to use it, say maybe, how many times can they use attack mode?
2 times. Well, it depends. It's 8 minutes, so it can be like 2 times 4 minutes, or one 8 minutes. Yeah, depends.
Yeah, I'd like it as, say, you could only have it a certain amount of times in a race, so you actually have to think about when you're using it, not like you can use it all the time. If obviously, because I don't think we'd get rid of DRS, so I'd like it as sort of so it's not just like you can have it, like you've actually got to think about using it and actually tactically with it.
I think, or you go.
Like push the pass in IndyCar, you've only got a certain time you can use it.
I think, or just make the cars easier to follow.
Next
I mean, that
year,
would be a lot easier.
it's going to happen next year.
Yes.
So,
I think then they
Yeah.
reduce the DRS, or definitely don't have any more than one DRS zone.
Yeah.
right, is this
have
the
one.
DRS next year?
I
I'm
think
not
so.
too sure.
Yeah. I need to look up on the regulations, but I am so excited for next year. Like, as much as I don't want the season to be over, I do want it to be over so we can
Yeah.
get next season just to see where teams
I'm
are
with you on that.
in.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like absolutely buzzing.
It's gone so quickly.
It has.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, oh, it feels weird to remember the season opener in Bahrain, where literally it was so tight, like,
Yeah.
and everybody was shocked that it was so tight.
Literally.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm also so happy that the winter break is not that long.
Yeah.
I saw another unpopular opinion, and it was there shouldn't be blue flags.
No, there should be blue flags.
There should be blue flags, otherwise it's just dangerous.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get people like Mazepin who get in the way.
Yeah, like,
Well, he does that whether
True.
there's a blue flag or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if there's blue flags or not for Mazepin, he'll still get in the way.
Exactly.
People just do whatever
Did
they
he
flags
get
don't
a
exist
penalty? Did he get a penalty for that move on Hamilton?
No.
No. No.
but then Pierre gets
ironic, isn't it?
in a race incident.
Yeah. Pierre gets one
Yeah.
hasn't really done
Yeah,
one,
one
but
dangerous moves on race leaders.
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
This
See
one.
what Fernando Alonso said. Sorry, just quick.
Yeah.
What Fernando Alonso said about the whole nationality thing. They see what nationality you are, and then they decide what penalty they're going to give you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see that.
it's all about.
It made me laugh because it reminded me of the UK Sky Sports presenters. They're so pro the UK.
Yeah, literally, they're so like British, aren't they? That they just support everyone that like all the British racing drivers.
Yeah, like
Yeah, well,
you know,
it's not only in Britain.
Where's
It's
Lando
not
Norris?
only in Britain. Just imagine the German ones going off on Mick Schumacher getting into Q2. It was like a national holiday.
Yeah.
It's adorable. I can see Norris having a similar career as Bottas.
Yeah.
I actually see that happening though. That's the only bad thing. Like, I don't want to see it happen. But
He's got talent.
he's got talent.
Not saying Bottas doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm comparing because Bottas had talent. Obviously, still does. He has a lot of talent, but it's whether he has talent on actually outright pace or I don't know. I think it's too early to.
Yeah, but I think that's a good statement. I feel like whoever came up with that was like proper thinking.
Yeah, I think it depends on the car McLaren give him as well, because we all know that they can win championships. They've done it before.
Yeah.
Not too sure about the future, but who can, well, it depends.
Well, how long is Danny Rick going to be there? Obviously, how old is he? 32?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How long, realistically, is he going to be there compared to Lando, who's 21?
Yeah. He's fresh.
He's fresh.
So
He's fresh.
McLaren needs to obviously look at the future and realise Norris is their future. It's like saying George is going to have the same career as Bottas.
You never know if he could.
He could.
He would.
He could, but kind of who would... What I'm thinking for McLaren is who would be the person that would be like Lewis.
Yeah.
Norris has got more chance of being the one like Lewis and them getting in kind of a more of a junior driver to act upon like Bottas.
Yeah. You know what I don't want to happen? I don't want to have McLaren become the next Red Bull with Lando becoming the next Max.
Yeah, but I think we need to brace ourselves if that happens. Because McLaren love Lando. They love Daniel, but
Yeah, they do.
He's never raced in any other team. It's like, obviously, Max has never raced in any other team than a Red Bull-owned team. So, yeah. McLaren, you think of their progression has happened while Norris has been there. I'm not saying that Norris is responsible for the progression, but because I think that's down to Zach and Andreas, but I think he's obviously been there to kind of help them along the way.
Yeah.
They're definitely coming up again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we not just go back to the days when it's Ferrari and McLaren fighting for the title?
No, people already hate on Ferrari. Like McLaren, fans hate Ferrari so much, and I'm like, oh, but I still love McLaren. Why can't we all just be happy with each other?
Or just be friends.
I know.
Yeah, but everybody
Because
loves
it would be boring if we would all be friends.
I know.
would
Oh dear.
Like, you get it. Say if like you're out, and say if you're, I don't know, a Red Bull fan or a Mercedes fan, you see somebody with the other team, you kind of look down to them. Like, you don't look down to them, but you kind of like, you see them and you're a bit like, Like, you're lucky I'm not wearing my Red Bull top, or you're lucky I'm not wearing my Mercedes top, because then we'd be. It's like a dead idea.
Someone had a Red Bull t-shirt on and a Max hat, and I was like,
I bet you were like, stay away. Stay away from me.
I haven't got my Lewis hat on because stay away.
Yeah.
You do it though, don't you, sometimes?
Yeah.
See, that's why I wear my McLaren jumper so much, because I feel like I can't get hated on. Like, my
Just
Red Bull
loved by
clothes, I love
everyone.
wearing them, but I feel like
You'll get
people are just going at me. With us being in England, I feel like people are going to come at me. Like what they did at Silverstone. People threw shade at me and this little boy who was wearing a Red Bull top. And this man was fully having a go at this little kid.
Aww.
For having a Red Bull top on. Because he didn't support Lewis. He didn't support Lewis, so he was having a go. And then he just whips out a Lando Norris cap. And I was like, you go. You go.
You go, little boy.
The Aston Martin livery is the worst on the grid, and the pink one was a lot better.
I know, I really like the green. The green looks so nice.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not
I like
effective.
it.
It looked really good in Bahrain, and it's going to look really good in Qatar.
Mm-hmm. With all
But in the
lights.
day, like it looks like a Mercedes.
Yeah.
It looks like a Mercedes. I can't lie. Like, on the telly, I'll see it, and I'll see kind of like, I don't know, an Aston Martin battling a Ferrari, and I'm thinking, what? Because it looks like a Mercedes. And as well, when I actually saw the cars going around Silverstone, you kind of have a glance and it looks like a Mercedes. I can't lie. I think it's kind of, it's not the same colour scheme, but it's got the same effect. I think it's just because they're both, they're so sleek.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is very, very nice. It's very just like sleek, clean, very. It's very nice compared to the pink one. Like, don't get me wrong, like having a pink car was cute, but I just didn't like the colour pink.
It was just, it looked clogged up.
Yeah,
It looked
definitely.
full of sponsors, but it was blocky.
Mhm.
Like, they kind of just copy and pasted pictures of the sponsors' names on. I feel like now they can found a way to incorporate the sponsors within the colours and a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winning is 15% driver skill and 85% constructor.
No.
No, I don't. It is very much driver. I think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah.
I think it'd be, I don't know, 50-50. 50-50. It depends on the race, because say if you go back to like France or Spain when Lewis and Max both pitted and then absolutely worked their arse off to then go and overtake both of each other.
Yeah.
Then obviously then 80 driver, 20 constructor.
Yeah.
But then you have to look at, obviously, strategy was made by the constructor, and then the skill was from the driver. It's 50.
Yeah. Like, you have to have a competitive car to be able to show what you can do in it.
Yeah.
Like, you might be really talented, like Charles, but that's like saying, why isn't Charles winning a race?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can have the talent, but if you don't have the pace to like go for it, then what were you supposed to do?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like Charles, we all know how good he is, and his talent. Yeah. But then we did see how good he was when he had the car for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say 50-50 as well.
Yeah. As much as it's like one person driving the car, it's very much a team, like a massive team sport at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Obviously,
like
it comes down.
individual, but also very much team within it as well.
Yeah, because you have to look at pits and strategy, and obviously the car that the team made. So yeah,
it's weird because like you, as a team, you're working on the cars before they go out, and then it's like this one driver is about to go out, and then it's all on them. Like, because obviously with me working in racing as like someone who's like a junior mechanic, you do stuff to their car, but as soon as that race or free practice comes along, you can't do anything till they come back in. So it's like, it is very much a team sport, but then it is down to them. Like, it's weird to think that you're doing all this stuff and then it's all in the hands of like one person technically.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a weird concept, isn't it? Because like normally sports, it's either a complete team sport or individual, but racing's a bit of both.
Somebody thinks that Toto's heart isn't in it anymore.
No, he's just signed another like 3 years.
I don't know if I see that though, because I feel like everything that's cracked off this year, we haven't seen Toto as we probably would have always seen him. I feel like he's been very quiet this year, like very just out of the way, if you know what I mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if Toto wasn't as passionate, he would step back.
Yeah.
Because he has the respect of the team that if his heart wasn't in it anymore, he'd step back.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I think maybe he stepped back. Well, he did not step back, but maybe he was a bit more quiet because he didn't want to play into the whole like daily soap Christian Horner Toto Wolff thing we had going on this season.
I think it's just down to media coverage as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But did you listen to this interview Christian Horner did, where he said like, I like to get him riled up, and when I get a reaction, it's even more fun.
Yeah.
So he does not get a reaction. So
I think that is one part. Like,
that's what I mean.
Give it back, does he? He tries to stay out of it.
Yeah.
I think he's very. I feel like it's only more recently though that he stepped back.
Yeah, it's only like this year, especially.
Like post Silverstone, it's been even more quiet. Post Hungary, really, it was quite loud.
Yeah, that's probably from a PR perspective of Mercedes as well.
Yeah.
This says there should be reversed grids.
No,
I think it's dangerous. Imagine having fucking Mazepin on pole. How do you think that will go? I just don't see it being very good.
No, please
I don't think it would last long. because I would just be like, okay,
It's all right
okay,
for
then.
F3 and F2 when they've got really similar
Cars
cars,
the same.
but
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause
sorry,
they're similar
no,
like
it's
talents and stuff, aren't they? So they're all sort of on the same level, like in F2 and F3. But
Mhm.
F1 sometimes it's very distinct because, like, again with the cars, if you've got a Haas that isn't performing compared to a Mercedes behind you, and you've got Mazepin trying to like cut over someone, that can be so dangerous. Like, it's a no from me.
just get it. You've got like the Hassers going, and then kind of more of the back markers, and then the midfield's kind of going around. By the time you get to the first corner, you're probably going to have a Mercedes going into the back of a house.
Yeah.
I could just imagine Mazepin.
Lies.
Mazepin trying
ladies-
to fight off Lewis.
That's something I don't
Just
need to do.
thinking
I
he's
kind of would
amazing.
love to see this though. Mazepin on pole. That would be fun.
But I think
The
Dangerous,
it'd
but fun.
scenes.
tears. It'd end up in tears.
I mean, it would be. I would be a nervous wreck for all the other guys on the grid, but it would be fun to watch.
Yeah, it would be funny to see, to be honest.
The kid Mazepin is on pole position.
On pole at Monaco, though.
That would I
Imagine
would
a
bear
Monaco-
squid at Monaco.
Yeah.
I would actually be scared for my life and for their life.
You'd probably get it so the
Wow.
Hass didn't start, and he probably just stalled it and couldn't even go off the line.
Yeah.
It'll still be waiting there, and 5 lights are out.
So,
I
you have
think-
to go
I
now.
Mazepin in a midfield car, and he's not as bad as what we're all thinking, will we? He's dangerous. He's not bad.
Interesting.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I think that's what the people don't get. He's not essentially like a bad driver.
Yeah.
He's just dangerous.
He's like Magnussen. He reminds me of Magnussen.
Yeah.
Magnussen had his days, you know what I mean? You're a bit like, ooh,
Yeah.
he's good. Well, I don't know, he drove dangerously. I think we'll look back and think, wow, Mazepin was actually quite... Yeah, I think we're going to look back and think, oh, how dangerous he actually was.
Yeah, we'll just like be like, oh shit, that man was actually in F1.
Yeah, it still baffles me. Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher in F1. It feels like they should still be, but then they feel too good for F2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't feel F1 material yet, but they don't feel like F2 material. They feel like IndyCar material.
Or WEC. Bring Mick Schumacher over to WEC, please.
We'll welcome him.
Oh, but with Mick Schumacher, I don't see him ever being a world champion.
No, I don't.
I just don't see it. I just don't see where he
No.
could go.
Yeah, people think because of his dad, he's amazing world champion. Like he is good, but not quite up there.
No, like
I
he has pure
Do
talent.
see him in a Ferrari one day.
Yeah, I see him in Ferrari one day, but I don't like. I just think he's been brought on too early again. I think maybe he needed a little bit more time. He's come into a bit of a time where F1 is like very much Lando, George, Charles, and Pierre, Max. Like it's going on to that era. So I feel like he's come in at a bit of a weird time, if you know what I mean, to be able to win a championship, or like he's going to have to sit it out for a while before we actually see anything, I think.
It's going to be a bit
I
like,
think he needs a few years to get into the swing of things, and then maybe we can see him further up top.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then sometimes I think Charles is a good driver and I like him, but I can't see him being a world champion.
Oh, I see Charles as being a world champion.
I'm not
2
sure.
times.
Sorry, Ellie, but it's just unpopular opinion. But
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah.
right now, seeing how Ferrari are and what they could be like in the future, I don't really see it. and I can't see Charles going anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Charles going anywhere else. Like, I hope Ferrari next year do sort of get a bit better. Obviously, me being a Charles fan, I would want to see him win a championship, but I don't know. I've just got to see what happens next year. I'm praying, basically.
As we all know, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. This says that Grosjean was correct. It is incorrect to call F1 a sport, since every sport person doesn't get an equal car, and the results are governed by the amount of money a team puts in. In a sports game, money should not have a huge impact on the outcome.
Well, you can say that about every single sport.
Yeah, because say football teams.
Yeah.
One football team has more money, will buy better players.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And football is a sport.
Yeah, so I think you can never take money away from F1.
Baba Haya.
Yeah, like F1 is money. It is like politics, money. Like, it's part of it. Like, it always has been and probably always will be. So yeah, I don't agree with that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Then if it's not a sport, then what is it?
Yeah, just some guys having a bit of fun
Some
on the
guy.
track.
And they're fun.
Especially him, he should
Out
be
of the lads.
like, he should be saying it's a sport. He's been in it for how many years?
110% he said that because he lost his seat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's
like
what
saying-
he has.
That's like saying IndyCar's not a sport. That's like saying MotoGP's not a sport.
Literally,
Oh.
yeah.
People say that motorsport isn't a sport because it's the car doing the work. But that's just a whole different reason to say that as well.
That's completely...
But then you got to look at it like footballers. Obviously, they're bought, but they can only get good from themselves. They're the only person that can have a factor on it. Whereas, obviously, with Formula One, you've got to look at it's how early you get promoted that could show kind of where you end up in the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And what does everyone think about Colton Herta could get a seat?
I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't know. I just don't know where he'd go.
Yeah.
Like, because we've got so many F2 drivers that want to come up.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you are in other like championships, obviously you'd always want to make it to F1. But if you're not in that F2 paddock, then I think it's going to be so much harder for you to even get recognised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
If Andretti
Alan,
buys
that
Silva,
would be great.
then
No.
yeah, I see if he ends up buying Silver, then I can see he could end up moving his drivers like over. I think it literally only happen if that happened. I don't think he'd get a seat. Like, just thinking. I think
no. And they're very different cars as well.
definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that one.
Yeah. Time will tell.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's so many people who have the potential to maybe get a seat, but they're just not enough seats for everybody.
Yeah. Like Nick De Vries being one. Like, as much as I'd like to see Nick in there, like Calamilo, like where would they go? That's the only thing. Like, there's so many good, talented drivers, just not enough cars. Do you know what I mean? Like,
5 more seats in Formula One. Who do you think would get them?
oh, that is a question and a half.
Calamilo.
Yeah, I'd say Nick De Vries being one.
Nick De Vries.
Yeah.
I'd say Award from IndyCar. He potentially
he'd stay. I think he's going to try and. I think he should stay in Indy. I think he's just good at it.
Yeah,
he's kind of ingrained in his talent. I feel like Piastri and
Oscar. Yes, please.
yeah.
Oh,
I think Liverpool deserves one. I mean,
I was going to say that.
I know I'm a big fan, and I know I'm really biased.
Potential.
Yeah, definitely.
Liverpool doesn't have anything after what happened in DTM.
Yeah.
He doesn't have pure talent though. He is like a pure talent driver. So you can already tell.
I'm glad he's not doing DTM. I don't know whether I'll be able to take that again.
Don't blame you.
Yeah.
Focus too, and show how good he is, and go off and make it to F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if Yuki Tsunoda's not going to have that AlphaTauri seat, it can be filled really quickly by Lawson and Vips. You're there as well.
Because they're very two like talented drivers, aren't they?
Yeah, and then obviously you've got Dennis Hauger, who's obviously just won F3.
Mm-hmm.
He's incredibly talented. Jack Doohan, really talented. So I think the whole of the Red Bull Junior program, it's got to a point where absolutely everybody in it is so good.
I think that the Red Bull Junior academy is actually better than the Ferrari academy at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
I just think it's better quality, if you know what I mean. Like, I think they've got better quality drivers.
Like they've got Dennis Hauger, Jack Doohan, and then you're going even further, like Johnny Edgar.
Mm-hmm. Like they've got a good few kids at the moment that could potentially. Why is there so many talented drivers? There's just not enough F1 seats. I know. Not seen half of these succeed.
I feel like we need to stop looking at F1 as like the end game. I know it is. I know it's F1, but there's so many good series of motorsports that are just better than F1.
Yeah, definitely.
Even British touring cars I'd rather sit and watch that all day. You know what I mean? It's got way more overtakes, way more action.
Yeah.
Bikes as well.
But that's what I mean. There is so many good championships around. Like, even if it's like International GT or WEC, like so many people go to them. So
I love it. Field endurance,
we just there's too many talented drivers in the world. But I think we've done a good old episode there, girls. That was actually quite a good one.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo to us.
Bring the action.